This is the Johnny Cleveland Podcast, all things Cleveland sports, with your host, John Suchan. Hey, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening to the Johnny Cleveland Podcast. We welcome you here to the Fanatical L's Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, John Suchan, and we're talking Cleveland Browns this week. The NFL schedule release will be coming up Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern. We are getting rumblings and hearing different things around the NFL the last couple of days. We're recording this on a late Tuesday evening. You might not see us or hear from us on this episode until Wednesday, but as of Tuesday night, Browns, we know, in week 1 will be facing the Dallas Cowboys in a home opener against them Cowboys. Dak Prescott and the gang, they're also going to be having Tom Brady, the former New England Patriot Super Bowl champion, will be making his NFL broadcasting debut, as he will be on the call on this game that's going to be, I believe, September 8th down at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Game time 4:25. Late game, be prime time for many folks in that first week. A lot of eyes will be staring at the Brownies and at the Cowboys. And what a great way to start the season. I can't wait for that to get here. I've got season tickets myself, like some of you do. And it will be one fun afternoon, one fun morning, one fun weekend. And hopefully we come out of this with a 1-0 record, right? A 1-0 record. We want to go 1-0 on the week. That's what good old steady Eddie Kevin Stefanski preaches with this Browns team. And what a great way to get the season started in 2024. Can't wait for that. So we do know that is the week 1 matchup. But beyond that, there's a lot of rumors. The rumor mill is out there suggesting games of this and that. We won't officially know until tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Now, us here at the Fanatical Elves will be bringing you another NFL release recording. So once the games are released, we're going to jump on here right before 8 o'clock probably. So follow us if you're on the Fanatical Elves on Apple, on Spotify. You can see us right now on YouTube and on the X, Facebook, all those platforms. So we really need you to download us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, so you never miss a show. And when you download us, you're contributing to the Fanatical Elves fund. We're making pennies, folks, here on the download. So we appreciate you tuning in and following us along. We're a bunch of wild and crazy Browns fans just like you. And that's what makes us special and a little different from your typical folks that you might listen to other podcasters. Listen, to some of these other podcasts, and they do a good job. Nothing to take away from them. But I think what I like about our group here that we've put together is that you have a real broad span of personalities and entertainers. And I just love that. You've got Steve Gill with the Dog Pound South show that he's been providing since he started with us over a year ago. And we got young Sam bringing the Browns breakdowns. We've added a few other folks along the way, including Lou Marconi, Noah Olson, and Jarrell Flint. They all are bringing their shows. We got Lou with his Browns breakdowns, or not Browns breakdowns. He's got the Burning River Browns talk. He brings that every day to you. And we love listening to Lou in the morning. Get your day started talking about the Cleveland Brownies. Noah's got his, what is his show called? Oh, he got the East Bank Sports Show, and does a great job there with his colleagues. Jarrell is bringing his dog food radio programming. And then you got Rod Bloom, who's been part of our group for the last year as well. He does his Browns Blitz. So thank you to all of you. You do amazing jobs. And folks, if you just tune into one of us, that would be fantastic. We really appreciate your loyalty and listening to us. We are wild and crazy, and we bring a lot of different takes. Some of them you'll like, some of them you think are stupid, and that's okay because we're Browns fans. That's what we do. But our loyalty is to the Brownies, and hopefully they're going to have another really good year. So as far as that year is concerned and the NFL schedule being released, we will find out a lot more tomorrow. Or if you're listening to us right now, it might be later this evening at 8:00 Wednesday. We'll bring you all the details as soon as they come out. And then Thursday, we'll also have another Fanatical Elves show that we normally have every Thursday night. So tune in for that one as well. I've heard different things like you have speculating about what other games the Browns might have. There was some speculation that maybe the Browns would be playing Jacksonville in London, England. It does not look like that's going to happen according to some of these rumors that we're seeing. One thing that we have seen that is official is that the Kansas City Chiefs will open the season, I think, hosting the Baltimore Ratbirds, and then they will go to Baltimore and play the Ratbirds to open the season on that Thursday night. And then the following week, in week 2, the Chiefs will host the Cincinnati Bungles, which is meaning that both the Bengals and the Ratbirds, the Bungles and the Ratbirds, will be facing the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1 and week 2. We know the Browns are going to play the Dallas Cowboys. Who are they going to play in week 2? Some people are now saying the Browns are going to be playing Jacksonville down in Florida in week 2 in an away game. We've also heard rumors that maybe the Brownies are going to play the Bungles on Christmas Day. How about a Thanksgiving game? Well, we're not going to get a Thanksgiving game because we play the Cowboys, and that's going to be in week 1. So we've also heard the Browns and Denver, they always have these Thursday night games. It sounds like the Browns and Broncos are going to have another one of these Thursday night games out in Denver. I'm tired of going out to Denver. We did that last year. We'll have to do it. It sounds like, again, we're going to have to go out there again. Let's hope it's not a Thursday night game. But, I just think Thursday night games are just stupid. They just it's just not too much. It's not enough time to prepare, and these teams are not prepped, and they just don't look good, and it's not good football. All right, let's pause for a quick break here on the Johnny Cleveland podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network and Fans First Sports Network. Hope you enjoyed those scintillating commercials here on the Johnny Cleveland podcast, Fans First Sports Network, and the Fanatical Elves Network. So the Browns' scheduled release is coming out. They had their mini camp with their freshmen, their youngsters, their rookies this past week. And, these guys are going to come in. Some of the guys might make a run to make this team. We're not talking about these youngsters as much as we have in the past, right? And that's because the Browns, on paper, have legitimately created a roster that is filled with really good players and that can compete for a championship. And so these youngsters are going to have to fight to make this team. Obviously, the rookies will make it. But who makes it? We have no idea at this point. So we'll just sit back and wait for the mini camps coming up, and then summer hits, and we'll have the training camp, and we'll we've got 4 months, right, folks? We're a little less than 4 months now. It's May 13th when we're recording this, May 14th, and so first game is September 8th. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's 4 months. All right. So the Browns got the Cowboys. I really like our chances against the Cowboys in week 1. It's a home game in Cleveland to start the season. The Cowboys are a decent team. They've got some really good players. They've made it to the playoffs. They've been competitive. Who's the jack of all trades, Micah Parsons, David Njoku. Remember that little scenario when the two of them were discussing Cleveland, and David Njoku was basically standing up for the Cleveland Browns in the city of Cleveland, while Micah Parsons was just being a moron, who's the guy that plays for the Cowboys. So the Browns will get an opportunity to play against the Cowboys, and Parsons and Dak Prescott, Myles Garrett, the Browns' star defensive end, will get a chance to clobber Dak Prescott a few times. How many sacks will he get in that week one? I'll say right now he's going to get 3. I say Myles Garrett will get 3 sacks. Just came to me right now. 3 sacks. What do you think? Maybe. It should be a lot of fun. The environment, the excitement, the euphoria building up to week one of the NFL season is something that's more anticipated than many other sports. So looking forward to that. All right, well, let's switch gears just a little bit before we leave you tonight, or this morning, or whatever time you're listening to us. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in a battle with the Boston Celtics, and I don't know if it's, they're doing battle, and they're trying their best. I think the Cavs are without multiple stars now. They're without Jared Allen, they're without Donovan Mitchell, and they're hanging by a thread trying to get through this series. They played a tough game last night in game 4, where they fell short by, what was the score? They lost by 7 or 8. It was very competitive, and we weren't sure how it would be, because we found out before the game started that Donovan Mitchell, their star player, would not be available because he's got a strained calf muscle injury, and those are tough to come back from, and it doesn't look like he's going to be available to play tomorrow or tonight if you're listening to this show in game 5. And so even without that, the Cavs really, really played tough. My man, Dean Wade, who no one appreciates more than I do, or others that know Dean well enough. And if you are an expert and you really do pay attention to good basketball and what good basketball looks like, Dean Wade is single-handedly, I mean, I've said this for a long time. You may disagree. There are a lot of really good defenders on the Cavs team. Isaac Okoro comes to mind, but Dean Wade, hands down, I believe he's the best defender on the Cavs team. Now, Evan Mobley does some really good things, but you go back and watch the Celtics game, go watch game 4, and watch how many times Dean Wade shut Tatum down. Now, I know Jason Tatum scored buckets here, but again, for the second game in a row, Dean Wade was he was one of only 2 players yesterday that was in the positive when he was on the floor. He and Darius Garland. Everybody else was in the negative as far as the time that they were on the court and the points that were scored. Dean Wade was the only player in game 3 that was a positive in that game. It was game 3. Many other players were in the negative. Despite that, you just can't ignore that. And folks, just watch how he plays defense. And unfortunately, the Cavs don't have defenders beyond a few, like Isaac and like Dean Wade and maybe Evan Mobley, that really can play defense well and consistently. Darius Garland is up and down. Karis LeVert is, what he is. Sam Merrill came in, does a few things, but that's partly the reason why the Cavs are in such a bind right now, because they don't have anybody on defense outside of those players I just mentioned that can play it consistently. And people are complaining about the Cavs not scoring buckets and the bench not scoring points, but the way that you fix that from a basketball standpoint is you got to play solid defense. Defense leads to offense, and you don't win championships without a great defensive team. Cavs have a good defensive team, but they don't have a great one right now. Boston's great. Boston's a great team. Tatum's a crybaby. I'm tired. He's annoying. Jaylen Brown is amazing. Who's the other kid that plays for them right now that's doing amazing things, that used to play for Milwaukee? Anyway, they just have a star-studded team. Going to be hard to beat. Um, so the other part of this, and most people in Cleveland and any fan of the Cavs is talking about today, is who did we see in the stands? Oh, that's right, King James. King James and his wife came and sat in the front row of a Cavalier Boston Celtics game. Amazing. Folks, I believe LeBron is coming back to Cleveland. Now, you might feel the same way. You might think we're nuts. But, yes, it was Mother's Day, and yes, probably LeBron was in town with his wife for Mother's Day. But I believe LeBron will come back to Cleveland. Now, does that mean that he's tying back? Then the Bronny, his son, will be picked by the Cavs? Hard to say. But I do believe that LeBron might be coming back or will come back. And I also think that if you read some of the other rumors that are out there, there was the other person here is, again, your favorite Cavalier, former Cavalier, Kevin Love. Kevin Love has made it known that he wants to come back and retire as a Cavalier. Wouldn't it be interesting if both LeBron and Kevin Love come back next year with Donovan Mitchell? I don't know if Darius Garland will be here. I believe he will be. I mean, come on now, folks. That would be amazing. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Kevin Love, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. I mean, amazing. And if you're a Cleveland fan and you've rooted for Cleveland teams, we know what happened in 2016. That emotion, that energy. Yeah, they may not win a championship, but they're damn closer with a LeBron James back on that squad. Yes, LeBron is getting older, and yes, he's only going to play for probably another year or two, but they have him back in Cleveland. Come on, folks. Let him come back to his hometown, his home area, finish his career. I think it would be very, very cool. And despite all the ups and downs, he's one of us, folks. We have cheered him on. He brought this community a championship that we have just so badly wanted over the years. So it would be a very interesting story come this summer if LeBron decides that he wants to come back to Cleveland. If he wants to come home, part 3. All right. Hey, give it a shout out too for the Guardians, the guards are killing it right now. They're beating the former World Series champions, Texas Rangers. Sam Britton, I know that you're a big Rangers fan out there in Texas. But no, the guards are back in a winning streak. I think they had 2 shutouts in a row. I don't know what the final score is tonight, but they were winning the last I checked, the Tuesday night. So we'll see what happens with that. But good job to the Guards, who maintain first place position there. Hey, folks, that's all I got here for the Johnny Cleveland podcast here on this mid summer night or mid-May night here as we prepare ourselves to learn who the Browns will be playing and when and where tomorrow night with the NFL release. The Cavaliers have Game 5 coming up Wednesday night as well out there in Boston. Good luck to them. So everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of whatever day it is. If it's Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, just enjoy. And follow us, folks, here on the Apple, on Spotify. Spread the love, man. Tell people about our podcast. Tell them about the Johnny Cleveland podcast and this great, crazy guy who's talking right now. We need you to download and follow us. And then when you do, you'll never miss a beat. When you open your phone, you'll see it. It'll pop right up. It'll say, hey, this is the latest episode of the Fanatical Elves Network. And you'll hear Lou, or you'll hear Steve, or you'll hear Rod Bloom, any of these guys. And, you're supporting a great program. All right, folks, take care. Go Browns. Oh, and I always forget, go Browns, but keep smiling.